might have some specific reason for wanting to do these. So let's just take them from the top. Hiding page fields set to all. In a mastermind report, of course, you have, by default, you have that list of fields up at the top in the page area, and typically all of them are set to all unless you are using them to filter something. Well, when we originally created Mastermind, that's what it looks like. Let me pull the dialog up here. So with the settings that I use, this is how the default Mastermind report shows up. And of course, this is different for you if you have not set these on. You would have a list of really pretty much all of the fields that are in your query showing at the top. Now, when we created Mastermind, we thought, well, we better put all the fields on the screen there where the users will know that they're there rather than expect them to be able to find the field list. And the field list is over here, this pivot table field list. All of the fields in your query are in this list, of course. By default, Mastermind puts them all up here in the page area. Well, people get tired of moving those out of the page area after they've created a report, especially once they know that those fields are always available in that list. The list disappears, by the way, when you don't have a cell on the pivot table selected. That's why it keeps disappearing here. By default, all those fields are at the top, and then by having this checked on, it just comes on this way. That means that whatever fields I'm going to pull into this report, I'm going to need to find my field list and pull in the things that I'm going to work with. So I'm going to do a state by status report. I have to know that I'm going to pull those fields out of the pivot table field list. If this list is not showing, then you need to go to your pivot table toolbar, and the far right icon there turns on and turns off that field list. For those of you who are on Excel 2000, this actually is not an independent field list. It's actually one that hangs off the pivot table toolbar. So that when you turn that on or off, it really just extends the toolbar down. If you're on Office 2007, this field list is actually more complex. It lists the fields at the top as well as the areas of the pivot table, and you can drag fields in between those areas in addition to actually dragging them into the report itself. But you have either one of those choices in Office 2007. So that's what that first one does. Essentially, it starts off by just making sure all the ones that are set to all are moved off. Now, sometimes some of them are not set to all. Some of them, by default, when you create a Mastermind report, there are a number of them that, for instance, will, if you have an on-year field, if you have a grouped date and the on-year field is up in the page area, by default, they will set the on-year to the current year so that report, just as it comes up initially created, only shows you, for this year, 2009. The on-year field will actually be set to 2009, and all the other ones would be all when the report finishes running. If you have this preference on, only on-year 2009 will remain up to the page area at the top. Okay. Hide page fields with no valid items. That's a pretty straightforward. Let's say you've got a custom, you do a report and